of Dubli. Dubli has this tell a friend portal or private link, and each customer is getting free credits for telling others. Remember also, Dubli is constantly promoting new products coming up for auction. How about this? Let's say this gal on the right a few months ago went in for the fun of it to buy something at auction, and she clicked on it. The price wasn't low enough. She went back later, another 80 cents, and lo and behold, someone had bought it. Before it went to the price low enough, she would have bought it. Dubli has an automatic, massive software system that automatically promotes that product the next time it's coming up for auction. Now, keep in mind, folks, the auction is ongoing 24/7, 3 different types, the Express, the Zero, and the Unique Bid. Thousands of products, icon brands, behind the scenes that the customer hasn't seen forevermore coming up and being promoted to the customer, things they haven't seen. But when that customer went in to look at a product and they went back later, or at that point they lost it, someone else bought it, the next time that same model and product comes up for the auction, Dubli system notifies them, promotes that product, date and time of that upcoming auction. So again, does this work? Let me share this with you. This was deployed in a very limited, not the full global model that is about to be unveiled worldwide. In fact, the World Mall, the shops, all of that was just unveiled in all of Europe July 17th of this year. Now think about that. Understand what's happened is the entire year and a half or better since October 2006, the average customer, this is hard data, folks, generates a minimum average, and usually very quickly, of 5 new customers. Those new customers invariably, and I mean that literally without variation, generates a minimum average of 5 customers. Now, folks, that's something to rely on because, again, what did it cost to become a customer? And the customers are constantly promoted and stimulated and incentivized by Dubli with, again, customer points they can redeem for brand new products and Dubli credits to attend the auction, okay? So now we're back to this model that is no longer theoretical but well proven. Now understand, how big can this get? Let me just take you to the next slide here. I want you to look at this. You acquire initial customers. How easy is that? I had my family at Red Lobster a week ago, told them about Dubli, and because I was in the business, I have an inventory of prepaid Dubli credits as part of my inventory. And guess what? And that's the only inventory. I'm not talking about products. An inventory of free credits that I promote customers with, and I'm going to be sending all of my family, my grandchildren, my daughter-in-law, I'm going to be sending them a small supply of starting Dubli credits to go in and have fun at auction. Why? Well, when I do that, let's look at my mouse here again, they begin duplicating other customers. How? Remember, everyone, we just looked at that tell a friend link. Did you notice that? That's how. It's all automated. It's all viral. Now, see these customers here? Notice this next row again. If I picture myself on a huge auditorium stage, there's my front row customers. I don't know these. See this second row? See this third row? Now, how quickly can this become really worth my attention? Why should I take Dubli serious? Let me just give you a quick mathematical synopsis. Let's say you engendered 10 customers. If they engender just 5 each, minimum average, although one may do 4, one may be 20, minimum average. My second row, picture that auditorium, second row there, that's 50 customers. Third row, 250. You ready for this? Fourth row, 1,250 Dubli customers. Now, unlike MLM, if I were to randomly interview each one of those customers, how did they find out about Dubli? Look at this picture in the bottom right. That's how. Not buying into a business opportunity, not buying a product they normally wouldn't buy every month. That's how. Now, how big can this become? Well, let me just share this with you. Folks, based on not theoretical, but a proven model. And they feel, when I say they, Dubli and their expert people, they feel that in the U.S., the consumer is far more aggressive. They're more frugal in the European mentality, if you will. We're talking about, in the U.S., the enthusiasm for the reverse auctions, the enthusiasm for purchasing and shopping things that you were going to buy at a huge savings, especially given our gas prices, the traffic that we fight. Folks, again, this picture on the bottom right, this is how those customers found out about this. So what can that mean to you? Do you realize it means literally, ultimately, you've introduced customers, they've duplicated, eventually you've got 10,000 customers. One more statistic for you, not theoretical. The average Dubli customer generates between, and by the way, in the Euro platform up until July 17th of this year, it was simply the auction figures. They weren't generating these traffic advertising fees paid by merchandisers in the World Mall. This was just auction. The average Dubli consumer generated a minimum average of $7.50 a month. Now, if we add the revenues from the paying merchandisers and manufacturers of websites, when our Dubli customer is in there to shop for something, they plugged in a search engine, they click on 2 or 3 sites, 2 or 3 times 30 or 40 cents is generated to Dubli. Again, folks, in the U.S., it could easily be $10 revenue average, minimum average per month from Dubli customers. Now, folks, if I've got 10,000 Dubli customers, understand, unlike an MLM structure, there is no limit. As far as you can see those rows upon rows in that auditorium, there's no row way out there that stops this process. And that's why this is a true, first I've ever seen, walk-away residual income for life. What would 10,000 of your customers generating $7.50 a month times 24%, that's your ultimate pay or monthly royalty, as they call it in Europe, that you're getting on those customers for life. That continues to grow. But now we're going to look at a bigger picture. Are you ready for this? A much bigger picture. Now let's look at you. Here's your customer. This is your network of customers, right? Let's look at the bottom. You're generating associates when you introduce this to successful entrepreneur types. Notice you earn between $75 to $1,500 every time one of your business associates enters the business opportunity and buys a product package, you'll see in a moment, of Dubli prepaid credits. Now think about that. Just for your information, the $75 to $1,500 depends on the quantity of inventory that you began with, okay, and those that you introduced to the business, their starting package of prepaid Dubli credits. It's that simple. And of course, understand that regardless, there's 3 packages available. Doesn't matter which one you start with. Ultimately, your 24% at your top earning capacity that the computer pushes you up as your network of Dubli customers and business associates begin to duplicate, that is not affected by which package you purchase. But folks, let me go back down here to the bottom. Business associate, they generate customers. Well, look up here. You see that row, 3rd row, 5th row, 6th row? I just want to throw something out for a moment. Would it be fair to say that those business associates like you would ultimately have just 10 customers on their front row? They didn't have to sell them anything. As they begin to duplicate, let's just lock in for a moment at something that can happen in a matter of weeks, not months, not years. 1,000 customers in that network like yours that business associate has, okay? All right, now follow this. Look up here at the top. You're earning at first 2, ultimately 14% of the Dubli revenue from the customers and referred customers of your associates. Now again, look down here at the bottom, see your business